Swinging a high, towering fly ball, absolutely hammered. Say goodbye. Mike Z with his third home run. He's on fire.
And another homer in the month of May. Boy, Justin has just been terrific.
And now Gene Segura.
Up the middle, slow roller.
There it is.
That's gonna do it. Ball game.
Gene, the hitting machine.
Gone. A diving catch by Rendon at third. See you later. Anthony Rendon through the raindrops.
This is well hit. Out to center. Herrera back, and we're tied. Tommy Pham does it again. He will watch it fly. And Chris Davis, another opposite field home run. He's just amazing.
Those were some highlights from the 2018 All Underrated team. Anthony Castrovince wrote a fantastic article for us here on MLB.com. If you want to check more of that, you can look at it on our site. We're going to be talking about it throughout the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 1225 Live. I'm Alexa Dat, and there might be some trouble in Beantown. A couple days after the Pats lose the Super Bowl, are the Red Sox in danger of losing out on free agent J.D. Martinez? We will talk about that. Mark Feinsand stops by to talk about if things are Feinsand or not Feinsand in Boston. Plus, we got a lot more to get to. Speaking of the AL East, we're going to do some predictions and who we think is going to win that division this year. Is it going to be the Red Sox winning it for the third straight season, or will they be overtaken by the Bronx Bombers and newcomer Giancarlo Stanton? So much to get to today on the show. Thank you so much for joining us as we turn our attention to Danny Wexelman, our social savant. Danny, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to see you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you too. How you feeling? Feeling good? Feeling the vibes? Yeah.
Feeling fresh, feeling clean, in the words of Thomas Harding. And I wanted to chat with you about this great Anthony Castrovince article that he wrote about the underrated guys. And there's a couple, too, in fact, that caught my eye. One, you're going to love Anthony Rendon. The guy placed 6th in MVP voting this past year, and he is totally underrated. You know why? Right. I know exactly why. He doesn't tweet. He doesn't Instagram. He doesn't do anything on social media because he's humble, and he just plays the game and goes about his business. While everyone else out there is, helping each other out on social media, I feel bad that no one thinks about him in that way because of that. That's my theory anyway.
Well, let me tell you something. The Nationals 100% think about him in that way because they wear those shirts. Rendon is my favorite player. Remember that from last year? And they were super pumped to be able to talk about him because he doesn't really talk about himself. Every time he does something great, he always deflects all of the credit to the rest of his teammates, which is awesome to see. But the fact that they supported him and gave him some credit was cool too. Who I like on that underrated list, what about Adam Eaton? He played for about a week with the Nationals last year, tore it up, and then unfortunately got hurt. So I'm kind of curious to see not only how he fits in with this outfield, but how he fits in this lineup and how that goes for this season. So curious to see. I know obviously there were a lot of young guys that the Nats traded away to get Adam Eaton. So a lot of people are itching to figure out. Yeah, they're hungry to figure out how he finally helps this team along. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a great list, and Carlos Carrasco was the other guy that I really liked on the list, and I think he's primed for a huge year, so I'm excited to see him too. So Castro, thanks, man, for that. Great
absolutely.
stuff.
You guys can check that out on MLB.com. Cookie Carrasco, I love that nickname.
Yeah.
All right, now let's take a look at how some things ended last year in the AL East, because we are going to preview how we believe this division is going to break down this year. Last season, obviously the Red Sox won their second straight division crown, narrowly topping the Yankees in the AL East. The surge in power from Aaron Judge, as we all know, and Luis Severino's second half, which was not too shabby, led this to being a pretty close race, good enough for a wild card berth for those Yanks, followed by the Rays, Blue Jays, and Orioles in the division. So let's go ahead and predict how the AL East shapes up this season. And Danny, I don't think it's, any sort of outlandish prediction to say that the Yankees are going to take this division. And I don't think anyone's arguing with me either.
I will not argue with you today on that, Alexa.
The fact that this is the team that hit the most home runs and then they add the player that hit the most home runs is pretty significant. This lineup has so much power from top to bottom. Plus young guys who are going to take a huge step forward this year. I think Greg Bird, who down the stretch when he came back from that injury at the end of August, he had 8 homers with an .891 OPS, and he is gunning to be able to prove to the rest of baseball what he can do. So that'll be pretty fun. Plus, don't forget about this bullpen. In this rotation, I'm so high on Luis Severino. I think he is a Cy Young candidate for sure this year. Plus, CC Sabathia is back. So these Yankees, I think, are winning the division, and I feel like the rest of baseball is right there with me.
I like it. I'm with you. I can't argue. I'm ready to grab my popcorn and just sit back and watch the fireworks go off at Yankee Stadium. I know we're going to be there all season long. So as I'm looking at the division at a whole, I completely agree. But one thing that I do think could happen this year is that I think the Rays are going to come in second place in this division. I love their... Yes, you heard it. Yes, Lex. Yes, the Red Sox are not making the postseason this year. You know what? Jake Odorizzi, Blake Snell, Chris Archer at the top of that rotation. And by the way, Alex Colomé, who you see here, was first in saves this season with 47 among all closers. They've got to stay healthy. They have Kevin Kiermaier coming back. They have Steven Souza Jr., who's got a hot bat as well. These guys are in their prime, and they're underrated. People are overlooking them, but if they can consistently win 2 out of 3 in the series and go on, I think that the Red Sox are going to fall out. Listen, I want a new team to win. If you're not going to make the postseason, at least let the Rays get in second place.
Yeah, but Danny, just because you want it doesn't mean it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Story of my life.
Listen, I love this Rays team, and I do think that they are slightly underrated because they do have a lot of talent there, but they're not going to come in second in the division. It's going to be the Red Sox. And unfortunately, the Red Sox have a lot to prove this season because they have a lot of guys who are coming back who weren't healthy last year, who have something that they need to build on from 2017.
Right.
A la David Price. The guy only had 11 starts in 2017, and the team still won 93 games. So if you get a full season of a healthy David Price, that's going to make all of the difference. Plus, you got Chris Sale. Hello, didn't Rick Porcello just win the Cy Young 2 seasons ago? We're talking about an all-star caliber rotation. This is going to be incredible watching all of these guys come together. Also, it's Craig Kimbrell's walk year. So Craig Kimbrell is going to be gunning for not only one of the top spots of one of the best closers in baseball, but he wants to prove to everyone that he is worth all of the money that he's going to make next offseason. And then you got this lineup. You got Rafael Devers, who's going to take a big step forward because he had a huge 2017.
You're making excellent
You got
points.
that outfield. Everyone's counting out the Red Sox because they haven't done anything this, offseason, and they keep, going back and forth with JD Martinez to see how that plays out. But that doesn't mean that this Red Sox team isn't good.
It's true. My blinders are on to this offseason drama. I really just like the Rays. I think that they're a great team. They were neck and neck with the Red Sox all season, and people forget that because they're just the Rays. No one thinks about them when they're in that division, but I think that they have a chance to get second and really build upon something and work towards maybe one day winning that division.
Yeah, that's if they don't trade a lot of these pieces before the season starts, because I know a lot of these guys are potentially on the trade block. So we'll see how that all plays out, because we see what already happened with Evan Longoria. But all right. That'll be a good debate for us to have throughout the season, Danny. We should put a wager on it, by the way.
Oh, always.
Maybe we'll do that off camera and then introduce that to everyone here on the show.
You bet.
All right, time for us to play Who's That Wednesday. As we love doing this, we have a bunch of guys here who we want to run through their stats and then guess who they could possibly be.
That's right. We're playing How Is This Guy Still a Free Agent edition. Let's start. Last season, I played in 162 games and had a career high 4.1 wins above replacement. Last season, I also won a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger and finished 14th in MVP voting. I am a World Series champion. Lex?
Yeah, I was going through some of the free agents, and I was thinking maybe, JD Martinez, because he's really strong and he finished pretty high in MVP voting. But then I was like, I'm a World Series champion.
Yeah.
This is Eric Hosmer, who won it with the Royals. So to me, this was a no-brainer once that last line came through. And he's got his ring. So it'll be interesting to see where Hosmer ends up. I feel like he could end up going back to the Royals because, it was almost like all these free agents were going to have this big yard sale and sell all these pieces off. And it doesn't look like that, may be happening after all. So we'll see. All right, next up, Mystery Man number 2. Danny, this one's for you.
Okay.
So besides missing 2016 due to Tommy John surgery, I started 30-plus games every season since 2013.
Okay.
I had the lowest ERA in my team's rotation last year.
Okay.
Some analysts say I am the 3rd best pitcher available right now. So which free agent pitcher do you believe this is, Danny?
There are a couple, because unfortunately a couple of them have already had Tommy John surgery. So I was thinking maybe Yu Darvish, maybe Alex Cobb. I'm going to go with Alex Cobb based on team's ERA. Oh, my guy,
That's
Lance
your boy.
Lynn.
That's your boy, Lance Lynn.
Oh, that made me sad. Yu Darvish was like in 2014, Alex Cobb, Lance Lynn. Yeah, it's tough. Sorry, Lance.
Yeah, well, it's a good one because some analysts say I'm the third best pitcher. Which analysts are those? We don't know.
Yes.
So we're just kind of
Sources
guessing.
say,
we're
Lex.
going off of somebody's numbers. We don't know who. So
That's
I
right.
love that. All right, Danny, mystery man number 3.
All right, I got this for you, Lex. I am the top player available at my position. I have played for 3 teams since the start of the 2016 season. That's a lot of teams. Not a lot of teams. And after a 2017 deadline deal to a contender, I hit 310 with an 865 OPS.
Okay, well, I'm thinking because of the deadline deal, I'm thinking J.D. Martinez because he went from the Tigers to the Diamondbacks last year and then absolutely crushed it.
Okay.
But, I'm wrong. It's John Lucroy.
You don't even get a chance.
Wow. All right. Hey, listen, we wanted those to be tricky, and they were.
They were very
nicely
those
done
were good, guys.
by our crew.
Thank you for
Trying to stump us.
They did stump us. You know, there are, and that's the thing is that you look at these accolades. These guys are great baseball players. They all have done incredible things, and they're going to land somewhere, and teams are going to be better for it.
We think.
One day.
We think.
One day.
All right, our question of the day. We have an interesting question of the day today, Danny, and we want people to caption a photo for us.
I'm so excited.
Show,
so
yeah.
I saw this yesterday, and the Athletics tweeted it out, and they asked people to caption it with the last text message you received, okay? So caption this photo with the last text message you received. If you're not on Facebook, head over now. We're going to show this photo a couple more times so you guys can see. So, Alexa, you're starting first. This is yours.
Yeah, this is the last text I got before I saw this photo, but I think it starts right after he gets here. And I thought that went pretty well with the photo. I was talking about the fact that Michael Kay was emceeing the Thurman Munson dinner last night, and I was asking Peter when it starts, and he was like, I think it starts right after he gets here. But it went along so well with this photo.
It
so I
does.
love
It's
that.
great. It's perfect. Okay, this is mine. I got this text from a friend. Let's go out on Saturday night and get really dressed up and go ham. So I have some fun friends who have had a long week already, apparently. And
that's awesome.
Yes, the maniacal laugh that's happening. So head over to Facebook. Tell us the last text message you got, and we're going to read it along with the photo.
Yeah.
And have a lot of fun today.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome.
This is pretty cool. And we also have a gift to give out. No?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, Danny.
Wait, come back.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So if you win the caption contest, we have a prize for you.
These are Chris Davis socks, okay?
Chris with a K.
Chris with a K. You can see with the glare there. They have the beautiful A. They're not Kelly green, so I'm sorry to say that, but they are striped socks, and we're giving these away. So get excited. Socks. Send us your best caption.
Whether you're an A's fan or no A's fan, you can still caption.
If you get text messages, you can participate, okay?
Exactly.
That's how this works.
And if you don't, sorry, you're not eligible.
Not allowed.
All right, time for us to welcome in Mark Feinsand, one of our favorites here because his last name plays very well into a game we play here on the show called Feinsand or Not Feinsand. Mark, by the way, you had a little vacation and you are back. Do you feel well rested? Feeling good?
Well rested, ready to go. Spring training starts soon. We're ready to get baseball going again. I'm excited.
All right. Some of us are ready to get baseball started. I don't know if J.D. Martinez and the Red Sox are ready to get baseball started in terms of figuring it out with each other because J.D. Martinez is fed up with the Red Sox and could potentially sit out to begin the season. Is everything Feinsand or not Feinsand with this Martinez situation, Mark?
I'd say not Feinsand, because if this is going to be a match that ultimately gets made, and it seems like both sides want it to happen, they're not getting off to a very friendly start. And if you're going to be signing to a guy to a 4-year, 5-year contract, you want to be all in with him, and you want him all in with you. So I think the Red Sox need to decide if they really want J.D. Martinez. They need to do what's necessary to bring him in, within reason, obviously. But I think both sides need to bend a little bit here to make this happen because it just seems like such a natural match that it would be a shame if it fell apart.
Yeah, I saw a couple of different tweets about this, about how the Red Sox could potentially move on from J.D. Martinez and sign Mike Moustakas and maybe move Rafael Devers around. Do you see a situation in which the Red Sox don't have J.D. Martinez this season?
Sure. I mean, look, if Martinez's demands are significantly higher than the Red Sox are willing to pay, Dave Dombrowski's not just going to say, "Oh, fine, here's what you want." That's why I think both sides need to bend a little bit. But yeah, there's certainly a scenario in which J.D. Martinez plays elsewhere. Once the Red Sox signed Mitch Moreland, that became a realistic possibility. They don't even need to sign Moustakas. They could just make Hanley Ramirez their full-time DH.
All right. In other news, as we go around the league, Twins ace Ervin Santana is out 10 to 12 weeks after that finger surgery. He's going to return in around May, and he's got Kyle Gibson and Jose Barrios to hold down that rotation before he gets back. Everything Feinsand or not Feinsand with this Twins rotation?
Everything's Feinsand. I think, the fact that he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks of the season, that comes out to what, 5, maybe 6 starts. They can fill in the blanks there. I think the key to this actually is Phil Hughes. He's coming back from 2 really, injury-ravaged seasons with the thoracic outlet syndrome surgeries he's had. 3-4 years ago, Phil Hughes was a huge part of the Twins rotation, and if he can get back, remember he's only 30, 31, I think. If he can get back to being the pitcher he was for the Twins when he first got there, he could certainly help hold down the fort until Santana returns as well.
They're also going to have a lot of young arms be able to step up and hopefully prove that they have what it takes before they see Santana return. So good luck to some of those young guys. All right, how about the Mets, who have made several moves this offseason, but none to their starting rotation, which saw their ace Noah Syndergaard only pitch 30 innings last year, and no one else besides Jacob deGrom reach 100. So is this Mets rotation Feinsand or not Feinsand, Mark?
Your guess is as good as mine as far as the health goes, but I would say it's Feinsand. Why would the Mets make a rotation move? They've got the guys there. If the guys who are there can be healthy and perform to their capabilities, we saw this rotation get to the World Series just 3 years ago. So, if Harvey and Syndergaard and deGrom and Matz, these guys can pitch the way they are capable of pitching, the Mets will be contenders this year. It's just a matter of whether these guys can stay healthy, and, none of us have any idea about that.
Yeah, they added Anthony Swarzak to that bullpen to be able to help there as well. If some of these starters aren't able to give them the innings that they need, they might be able to use some of those bullpen guys to help them out. But it'll be interesting to see how the season starts, because the dominoes start to fall pretty early on for this team and the health of their team. So good luck to the Mets keeping that together. All right, how about the Orioles, who seemingly only have one more season left with Manny Machado on their squad? They're really trying to make the most of it, obviously. They also got Zach Britton, and they'll have him for at least part of the season, they believe. They've been in talks with Lance Lynn, not really serious talks, but do you believe everything is Feinsand or not Feinsand with the Orioles rotation as it stands right now?
I would say not Feinsand. They need to add another arm or two. And whether that's a Lance Lynn or an Alex Cobb, even if it's not somebody of that level, our buddy Richard Justice threw out some names that proposed, Andrew Kashner, Jaime Garcia, even bringing back Chris Tillman. The Orioles just need to add something to the rotation, get some guys in there who can throw some innings. It's a team that's going to be built on scoring runs, and they can certainly do that. But, you have to get 27 outs on the other side of the ball as well. So they certainly need to add at least 1, maybe 2 pieces to that rotation, even if they're not high-profile pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. And Danny and I were just talking about the AL East and how it shakes out. By the way, Mark, let me get your take on this, because Danny and I are at odds. So we believe that the Yankees are going to win the AL East. I believe the Red Sox come in second, followed by the Rays. Danny believes the opposite. She believes the Yankees win the division, followed by the Rays and then the Red Sox. How do you believe it shakes out?
Well, if the Red Sox are able to get J.D. Martinez, I think that certainly puts them squarely in that number 2 position, challenging for the number 1. Without J.D. Martinez, I'm going to disagree with both of you, and I'm going to put the Blue Jays second in the division. I think the Blue Jays, are underachieved last year. It's a team that made it to the ALCS 2 years in a row before last season. So I like Toronto to have a bounce back year this year. Okay,
I love it. We should maybe put a wager between the 3 of us on this. It was going to be just between Danny and I, but why not mix Mark in? Because now that you have another take. Yeah, all right, sounds good. We'll come up with something. All right, how about the Cardinals and Brewers edition, mixing up this NL Central? Do you feel like the Cubs' path to another division title is Feinsand or not Feinsand?
Well, I would say we're incomplete in terms of that answer, because if the Brewers were able to add a big pitcher to that rotation, I think they're going to be a really tough out for the Cubs this year. And the Cardinals still have some holes to address as well. I know we're a week away from camp's opening, but I feel like we don't have a complete picture of what those 2 teams look like. If I had to, pick a team right now, I'd still say it's the Cubs. They're the most talented all-around team. They looked like they underachieved last year, even though they won the division, just because of what they had done the year before was so special. I think the Cubs need to bring in another arm as well, whether that's bringing back Jake Arrieta or bringing somebody in to replace Jake Arrieta. So I think with all 3 of these teams, I don't think we have a real complete picture of what any of them are going to look like come opening day, let alone, come the middle of the summer.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited to see this division and all these teams in action. How about a team that won't potentially compete in 2018, but 2019, look out. It's the Phillies. And, they signed Carlos Santana, obviously, to that 3-year deal. They've got a lot of young stars. Gabe Kapler's coming in. He wants to shake things up. Do you feel like if this team does not acquire Bryce Harper or Manny Machado next offseason, everything's Feinsand or not Feinsand for the Phils?
I'd say it's Feinsand. Look, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado are certainly, generational type talents, but there's a lot of talent on that free agent market next year. And if they can't get one of those two guys, there are plenty of other players they can bring in. I think a lot of it is just the development of some of their young guys. This year, can they, sort of like we looked at the Yankees last year with Judge and Sanchez and Bird and Severino. The Yankees needed those guys to take the next step. The Phillies needed their guys to take the next step this year. And if they can, they'll be a lot more attractive to those free agents like Harper and Machado. So I think this is a big year for the Phillies, not necessarily in terms of contending, but in terms of showing potential free agents why they should want to come to Philadelphia.
All right, sounds good. We got some news from Giants, and they said that they're going to retire Barry Bonds' iconic number 25 this summer. 9 other numbers are retired by the Giants, all belonging to Hall of Famers. So I got a hypothetical for you, Mark. If you didn't vote for Bonds to be a Hall of Famer, are you Feinsand or not Feinsand with this jersey retirement?
Well, I have to say I'm Feinsand because I did vote for Bonds for the Hall of Fame, so I'm certainly Feinsand with this. Look, Barry Bonds is arguably I'll say the second best player in Giants history behind Willie Mays, his godfather. So the idea that he should have his number retired by the Giants is an obvious one. I think having your number retired by a team and being in the Hall of Fame are completely separate issues, and we've seen that with the Yankees the last few years, retiring guys like Jorge Posada and Andy Pettitte. These guys aren't necessarily Hall of Famers, but they have a place in team history where it's a no-brainer to retire the number. Number 25 should never be worn again by anybody in San Francisco, and I think it's the right thing to do for the Giants to retire it.
I absolutely agree. All right, final Feinsand or not Feinsand. We had over 100 free agents still left on the board, still trying to find a home for 2018. Is everything Feinsand or not Feinsand with this market, Mark?
It's not Feinsand because I can't answer half the questions you're giving me because we don't know where some of these players are going. We know it's a really bizarre market. There's a lot of potential reasons, a lot of theories out there. I feel confident that all these guys will play in the majors this year, at least all of the top name free agents who are out there. But it's unbelievable that we're sitting here on February 7th, and we're still wondering where 6 or 7 of the top 10 or 12 free agents are going to be signing. I think everybody in baseball, all the fans would certainly like to, certainly the fans of the teams who are trying to sign them would love to see some of these signings happen soon.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, we were talking about this at Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving felt like so long ago. And the fact that we're still talking about it, it really blows my mind. So hopefully...
Well, the winter meetings was 2 months ago, and we were talking about how it was slow then.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, we've had 4 major players signed. So it's really astounding. But like I said, these guys will play somewhere this year. It's just a matter of when and where.
Sure. Okay. All right. We got a couple of fan questions for you. Brooke says, can Carlos Gonzalez go to the O's as a DH? What do you think about that?
I suppose it's possible that the Orioles have Chris Davis tends to get a bunch of games at DH. And, I think it would certainly be a great fit for Carlos Gonzalez to go to a hitter's park like Camden Yards to try to resurrect his career, prove to people that he's not done. The amazing thing every time we talk about Carlos Gonzalez is I think he's 31 years old. Feels like he's been around for 18 years.
Yeah.
And you always think, he's probably on the tail end of his career. This is a guy theoretically and is still in his prime years. So I look for him to sign somewhere and have a real big bounce-back season. He's
also one of these guys that kind of gets lost in the free agent shuffle because, we're talking about all of these other names, but we don't mention Cargo that often, and he's going to end up being, like you said, a big impact player for somebody that ends up signing him. So maybe it's the Orioles. We'll see. And then Marco wants to know, hey, Mark, out of all of these signed baseballs that you have over your shoulder, which one's your favorite?
Which one is my favorite? It's a good question. I would probably say Barry Bonds from a friend of mine a long time ago. But I have some odd. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra is my favorite of all the ones.
That's a great one. And then one final Feinsand or not Feinsand, Mark. I saw that you took your family to the Garden last night, and unfortunately, Kristaps Porzingis came out injured. And I know it's supposed to be so devastating for Knicks fans, and then they're trading away a bunch of their players. Is your household Feinsand or not Feinsand right now?
Definitely not Feinsand. We went to our one Knicks game of the year that we had planned for this year. And Porzingis against the Freak. It was going to be a great night. And Porzingis makes this nice dunk, comes down, and you saw him bang his hand on the floor right away, and I knew it was not good. I've seen too many athletes with that reaction. So my kids were bummed that he didn't play the rest of the game, and certainly not a very happy day in Knicks Nation, that's for sure. Yeah,
now they're shopping all of their players, so I guess a rebuilding process is in the works for them as well. It's not just baseball, Mark. I guess that's the moral of that story.
I have a question for you, Alexa.
Yeah.
Were you Feinsand or not Feinsand with Darryl Green bringing out the Super Bowl?
I was so not Feinsand, Mark. I was heartbroken. He looked so miserable with all of the guys reaching out, grabbing it, and he was like, I do not want to be here. I'd rather be anywhere else. I was devastated.
I don't understand how they put somebody from a rival team for either one of them. Like, that would be like having Joe Namath presented to the Patriots. Was Steve Largent not available, or some Western player that didn't matter? Darryl Green handing the Super Bowl trophy to the Eagles was one of the most painful things I've watched as a sports fan.
I know, one of my favorite players. I was devastated. It was awful. But Eagles still have a couple of Super Bowls to catch up with the Redskins, so they'll need to start getting started on that. Mark, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. All right, Danny, we have been talking about this photo that we want everyone to caption, and we're giving away a prize today, yeah?
Yes, okay, so we're going to show you this photo, and we saw this on the Athletics account. They do a great job of running their social media, and we're asking you to do what they asked. Caption this with the last text message that you received. So look at your phone right now, all our friends on Facebook, look at your phone, go on your computer and type that in. The best caption is going to win these bad boys once they put me on camera. There we go. Here I am. These are A's socks. Not only A's socks, Chris Davis A's socks. I wish I could rock these bad boys every day. I would wear them under my pants because it's cold outside. It's snowing in New York today.
It is freezing
here. It's freezing. So caption this, and we're going to give these away. You could win these. These are so great. Chris Davis socks. Maybe you'll hit like Chris Davis with a K.
All you got to do is come up with a cool, unique, creative caption.
That's it.
Not that complicated.
Super easy. Let us know.
Send some in, and we'll send you some socks.
That's right.
And give you some props on the show. That's probably even more important.
Yeah, we'll give you a good shout out.
Even if you're not an A's fan. All right, here's another picture that deserves a caption, and if you want to come up with a caption for this as well, you totally are welcome to.
Why not?
Baker Mayfield and Christian Yelich hanging out together. Man, this is prime bro time there in the gym.
Yeah.
Used to pump some iron.
Do you think that like being together makes both of them better? That's what they think. They're friends, so they're like, we want to hang out and pump some iron and be the best athlete ever.
I think Christian Yelich is just really enjoying his new surroundings and meeting all the guys there because, it's a totally different atmosphere for him to go from where, he was.
It's colder.
Yeah.
A little colder.
Milwaukee's different. It's just different than Miami. So it's going to be interesting to see, what he does in his free time and all his new friends that he's gathering. But Baker Mayfield seems to be part of that posse. So
he is. He's got a thick Rolodex going on there now.
Yeah. I mean, gather it full of all of your favorite athletes. Why not?
Why not?
All right. We also got some new jerseys to look out for. We saw that the Miami Marlins were going to celebrate their 25th anniversary this season.
That's right.
They're going to use this awesome commemorative logo.
I love this.
Yeah, old school Marlin, breaking through the numbers.
Any coincidence that the anniversary uniforms you see here have pinstripes?
What are you trying to say, Danny?
I'm trying to say.
What are you trying to say?
I think that Mr. Jeter is he's present. He's present, and he's making his mark on the organization.
He's trying to create the Yankees of the South down there in Miami.
He's trying to make them better. You know what? He's just trying to make them better. And sometimes pinstripes are thinning or slimming. So
they're thinning as well.
They're thinning and slimming. Yeah. So maybe that's what he's going for.
One last thing, we saw this from Wheel of Fortune last night, by the way. This was going viral. People were very upset. So they were naming Chicago sports teams.
Yes.
And they had all the basics, right? The Blackhawks, the Cubs, the Bulls, the Bears. Hello? Where are the White Sox?
Oh, there they are.
Well, the White Sox had to fix it for them.
They had to correct it. Here, we fixed it.
I'm telling you, the White Sox get left out. People troll really hard.
So when we originally...
do you not remember the White Sox winning the World Series? It wasn't that long ago. 2005?
Yeah,
what is this?
I remember, but listen, when we saw the photo, it was photoshopped and it had Sox on the side. And then we got into an argument because no one calls the White Sox the Sox.
Yes.
But I was like, at least they got the mention. Chicago Fire didn't get in there. There were a ton of other Chicago teams. So I was like, at least the Sox. But then we found out they weren't even on the puzzle at all.
Negative.
Pat Sajak, I really like you, and this seems like a misstep. We're going to have to fix this.
I feel like the internet in general missteps, though. We've seen major sports networks leave the White Sox off of boards about them winning championships.
We like you, White Sox.
It's a huge diss.
We're a fan.
This is a professional organization that wins championships. What are you doing?
We'll never do that to you.
Listen, yeah, we got your back.
We'll
That's
never
for sure.
leave you. We'll never let go.
And by the way, the White Sox are going to be good in a couple years, and I don't want to see all these White Sox jerseys coming out, and everyone wants to talk about the White Sox all of a sudden when you left them off of your, shows and your boards and your all your good times.
Yeah.
Because the White Sox are here to stay.
Yeah, you tell him, Lex.
That's right.
You tell him.
All right, we want people to caption this photo.
We do. Okay.
Do we have good captions?
We have captions.
Great.
All right, so this is the photo The Athletic sent out. We asked you guys to caption it with the last text message you received. Let's start with our friend Jeff, who said he has a lot of homework and studying to do. That's kind of funny.
But that's the reaction from that tag. He's like, ah!
Yes. Ah! Okay, Carter. Can't wait for your 21st birthday party next week.
Yeah, party time. Let's go.
I like that one. Sam, he's actually flying to Hawaii tomorrow. LOL. So, I imagine the text before this was like, yo, dude, do you want to meet up in, Florida for some lunch? So it was like, he's actually flying to Hawaii tomorrow.
He's going somewhere even more tropical and warmer.
And our friend Vinny, who said the new Deadpool trailer dropped.
Yeah, there you go.
So
look, people getting fired up today.
They did.
I love this.
Did. And you guys kept it coming, which is great. I'm seeing all these things come in on Facebook, so we definitely appreciate this. Well, I just have to throw this one in there. Matthew said, Chase account, your payment has posted. That's good, Matthew. That's a good one. So now we need to pick a winner because we're giving away these A's socks. And sorry, Matthew, you can't win because we know you.
Danny, I have my favorite. My favorite's Carter. Can't wait for your 21st birthday party next week.
I like that too.
And the whole dugout goes wild. Do you like that?
I think that's great. I think, Carter, you are our winner, my friend. Here you are.
And Carter, hopefully, you can keep these socks. You can do whatever you want.
I do believe,
you
Carter.
You can keep it for yourself, or you can give them to this person's.
Yeah.
For their birthday, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great birthday gift.
There you go.
If it's not yours.
Hopefully there's an A's fan.
Give these away. Very cool. Chris Davis with a K. Socks.
Nice. All right, our final story here. Mayamo Trevor, as we know him on Twitter, has started a podcast. This is the podcast that we have all been wanting and waiting for forever. In My Honest Opinion is the name of the podcast, and he was trying to promote it on Twitter the other day and came up with a pretty interesting way to promote it.
Yeah, so here's the sales pitch. I'm impressed. Have you been having your lunch break with boring Brad from HR? Or are you tired of eating with Gretchen from accounting? Listen to Minor Horror Stories #1 from @ I Am HO during your lunch break today instead, Lex.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've shown you some of his great stuff that he's put out on Twitter, the podcast, just adding to that. So his presence on Twitter is very much needed and appreciated.
How did they know that we didn't want to talk to Gretchen in accounting? How did they know? I just want to listen to your podcast and eat my lunch.
Someone in that thread was like, we fired Gretchen. Trevor was like, she wasn't carrying her weight or something like that.
Poor Gretchen.
Sorry, Gretchen.
Sorry, Gretchen. That's really cool, though. You guys should check it out. It's on iTunes. They've got 6 episodes, I think. So who doesn't want to know what's going on in those guys' lives?
Yeah, of course. And they're hilarious. So it's a great way to pass the time and learn about some baseball.
Check it out, guys. Thanks for everybody on Facebook for being so great today, by the way. Caption contest.
Thanks for all those captions. And congrats to Carter. And happy birthday to your friend or to you, whoever's birthday it was.
Happy birthday.
Oh, your birthday. Happy birthday, Carter.
Happy birthday, Carter. Thanks, man.
Enjoy your socks. All right, thanks, Danny.
See ya.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us today here on 1225 Live. Big thanks to Danny again and to Mark Feinsand for joining us. Hopefully everything is Feinsand in his household as the day progresses and we can talk more baseball with him because the Knicks aren't pulling their weight. But we're going to talk more baseball as the week progresses here on 1225 Live, so make sure you stay with us. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 1225 Live right here on MLB.com. See you then, everyone.